Hey, it's your boy Zero, I'm the ones doing today. As for me, a bit conspiratory. VShojo has fallen apart, honestly, at this point, and won't. Well, I don't think we'll see any more of them unless spicy news comes out, which this is, I guess, preempting. Today, I'd like to take a guess at one of the possible people responsible for this management of VShojo. Now, obviously, the thumbnail shows the CEO. It'd be too easy to point at, okay? And yes, he did not act alone. But one person I have in mind should also be kind of low-hanging fruit. No, and that's not a hint towards who I think it is. Now, before we get started, this is purely speculation, hypothetical, and, I think maybe just funny coincidences, So we'll have actual wait for things to actually come to light. But I am feeling a bit spicy today, and you guys can have your opinions. This is mine. So I've talked enough about this intro here. So who do I think is largely at fault, other than CEO, for the mismanagement of VShojo? Project Melody. Or someone Project Melody adjacent. And of course, I think it is. I'm the biggest hater, or I want to be the biggest hater. Or maybe I could say I'm one of the earliest fans, and maybe also earliest haters. I generally have covered things around VShojo and Melody because I wanted to see them do well. I've had my negative opinions on both parties because I want to see them do well. But obviously, they're not. So, we have a teensy bit of history. That's why I also talk about this.
Yeah, on V-Day. V-Day was so big that someone made a video about it. Who did that video? His name is Zero. It's like Zero Void?
As I've said in my previous video, we have a little bit of history in the sense of I have covered VShojo and Melody ever since the very beginning. And obviously I had a large lull where I have not talked about it because nothing really happened. But it's something that, I like to talk about and I will continue to talk about. And, this is my channel, my opinion. I will be very happy to talk about all that and take it all the hate if you guys think I'm wrong. So, let's go with the series of coincidences that I think may line up with suspicions. First of all, way back when, in November of 2020, so you guys may know and may not know about an event in that time where Digitrev X put a DMCA strike on Project Melody. I'll summarize in saying that it was for unpaid work that he did. There's a lot of mixed messaging here and there, but the general summary I'll give you guys is that Melody has unpaid work for Digitrev. He kept asking for money for it. He said, hey, here's an invoice, and it was not paid. There was also a lot of confusion because there was a second person. This is where it's important when I say Melody adjacent. There's a second person using the Melody account to communicate to him and as her as well. So we don't know who's who, and that's why it's very important that we talk about adjacent, right? Maybe very complicit. Who knows? So due to that, he was stiffed on payment. How familiar, stiffed on payment. The next event in our chronology is the Nux Taku incident. Now, to summarize that as well, Nux Taku created a video talking about people who were trying to use the VShojo auditions to dox people and maliciously use the name. Now, I am of the opinion, and I'm fairly certain that other people are against me, that he was unfairly targeted by the talents due to miscommunication from the management because they okayed the video. Most of the talents threw a fit. They apologized publicly to Nux. Easy peasy, problem solved. Or so you think. Because the only person who didn't publicly apologize, and it was minor, Project Melody. It would have been easy, but it never happened. Yes, I understand that there were discussions saying, hey, yeah, I was apologized from Nux himself saying, yes, they apologized to me privately. But overall, again, most of the talents that had that freak out did actually apologize publicly on their Twitter accounts. Melody, only one to this day, never seen any of that. Never seen any of that. So, weird, huh? Because I criticize VShojo because I want to do them better. Like I said, they want to do better. We've seen that some talents have done better in holding their tongues. others not so much. In this context, one of them got a little bit smart about saying things and not saying things. The third and final event, well, the recent fallout, the recent blowout of VShojo. I stated that VShojo was a VTuber group that became a VTuber group, a VTuber company that became a group with extra steps because they decided to become a corporation. It was really a bunch of streamers that were friends, or maybe outwardly friends with each other, and supposedly there was solidarity with the former talents. After Mousy left, with more information, we found out that there's abhorrent mismanagement in the company. So I wonder, where was this for Silver Veil? I know she spoke about it earlier this week, but at least from one member, Silver Veil did not feel like she belonged to the company. She didn't feel like an equal. As you saw, Mr. Gunrun said that she was a shame or a bad image for the company. That one's actually a fact. And at least a fact spoken by Silver Veil. So she spoke about that overly restrictive NDA, and apparently her mother had to sign the NDA. Like, excuse me, this is the talent you're signing on, right? And instead of actually being an employee, they are independent contractors. How odd. So as for what this has to do with recent events, if you've seen any response from them, a lot of people are saying, hey, this is my experience with the company. This is pretty shitty. This has been pretty bad. Why was Melody the only one that I've seen so far seemingly surprised that these things were happening? Because we have, Mr. Digitrev, I have to mention him again. He's seeing that, hey, wait a minute. The guy that I worked with Melody in her project before, in 2020, early on, 2019, is the same guy that's currently the COO of, previously the COO of VShojo. So how odd. I won't speak on like how accurate it is that the guy's doing sexual content, but he has certainty that it's the same guy. I happen to believe him, and I'll be very transparent. I've spoken to Digitrev before in the past, and I have a good opinion of him. I can't say the same for Melody. I've had conversation with her, but he seems much more open and honest than anyone else in VShojo that I've spoken to, or at least interacted with, or even observed to be. At least when we talk about in terms of VShojo and Melody and the other people that we executives, Mr. Gunrun. So, again, this is why I'm saying, why are you so surprised? Because I want to backtrack this a little bit, right? Melody's dream, and this is a quote from Digitrev X very early on in an interview, saying, hey, this is a dream of hers to make a company. She made the company. So if you are so invested in a company, you want to make sure things are going well, right? You want to talk to people, you want to talk to your employees, you want to make sure things are improving if need be. So why does it come as a shock to Melody? Oh no, things are going wrong. Oh, by the way, everyone says their experiences are negative. By the way, guys, I'm going on hiatus. How odd. Like, again, if it's something you're so passionate about, tell me why you're surprised that it's gone down the drain. Tell me why. I want to know. Because her feeling sick and needing time to think and have a hiatus, I don't think so. I don't know. It's just that whenever, because Digitrev is pushing me in the right direction here, at least I feel in the right direction, in a direction that I'm fairly confident that this is very true. But, I could be very wrong, but what do I have stakes in this? Why should you believe Digitrev X, right? Well, for me, I'm not going to speak for Digitrev, but I feel like that's my opinion. I want to gloat when this comes out to be right. When? Gosh, that sounds so confident, doesn't it? Yeah, why? And Digitrev, I feel, and this is my opinion of why he's doing this, I feel like he wants to seek justice as well. And that's kind of my angle as well, but I won't try to speak for him. So this is a load of baloney, right? Mere coincidence. I could be wrong. I could be gloating in the future. Time will tell. So, how crazy am I? Do you have a theory of your own? Because I'm feeling smug. You guys can talk to me however you want. I'll take all the hate. Give me all the hate for being the biggest hater of Project Melody. Okay? I'm down for that. If you guys want to leave a dislike, I'm sure I will get a lot of that. Leave your comments about how crazy I am in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Boop.